larger numbers of people struggling to try and keep up are the neighborhoods that are most poorly served by public transportation, and for that matter by recreational facilities and by adequate affordable housing. And so if we want to stay where we are as a desirable place to attract technology and startups and innovative kinds of jobs that are going to fuel our prosperity going forward, we're going to have to use the benefits of that prosperity to fuel transit, to serve and connect these neighborhoods, connect people to opportunity, to build the affordable housing we need to make it possible for people to live in a community that becomes increasingly expensive as it succeeds, and to make sure that something as basic as recreational facilities are there for the people who need them the most. It's no accident. I mean, when you see that people like Drake and The Weeknd have been produced out of the city of Toronto, which, isn't the biggest place, it isn't the biggest, pool of musical or cultural talent in the world, but again, it is something where, where we have put a premium on the importance of culture and music as a unifier, as something that does bring people together, that does allow them to lift themselves up through music and culture. We've become the third largest film production center in North America, after Los Angeles and New York. And yes, that's partly because of our film festival that's now world renowned, but it's also because we have in place a cultural infrastructure that encourages people to see this as a means of moving themselves forward. Somebody was saying yesterday that maybe we should call ourselves cool, not cold, because people keep raising the weather, and it's not such a big deal. But we're cool, not cold, open to creativity, understanding the importance of creativity tied in to the growth of our economy. I will just say, by way of a concluding comment, we've recently just elected a new government in Canada. And it is a government that has a new Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who himself has indicated he understands not just the importance of city building. He's pledged and has shown in his first budget his commitment to helping us to build cities. A huge amount of money dedicated for the first time really from national governments for transportation and housing infrastructure, and for cultural and social infrastructure as well. And I think this is going to make a fundamental difference, together with his belief that we are going to win the challenge to grow and to be prosperous based on attracting human beings, the best and the brightest, to come and live in livable cities where we can be a model of people who work together. It is no accident that we have in our current government of Canada the Minister of Innovation, who is Navdeep Bains, a 38-year-old Sikh father of two who grew up in the corridor. The finance minister is the former CEO of a company that grew from nothing to thousands of employees. The Premier of Ontario, where we all come from, is an openly gay woman in her 60s who's led huge ministries in the government and understands the interconnection between innovation and the way we live together. So we are going to continue to work at this with a focus on all of the building blocks that we need, and Barry, I'm sure we'll have a chance to discuss some of those this afternoon. But we want people to come and to be with us because we have built a city that addresses all the things you're just addressing today, that's livable in the broadest sense, that's affordable, that supports people who need a bit of a hand up. And we're going to continue to work at those things, which I'll describe as very practical, and we'll listen with interest to some of the discussions in the panel this afternoon and as it goes on. But I can tell you what else we're going to do. Is that we're going to work hard, all of us as elected leaders in the local realm, with our colleagues in the other levels of government in our country, to make sure that we remain a place that has a rational political culture, that has a commitment to people living together and understanding that it is our responsibility to look after each other through things like our healthcare system, through the fact that it is the law, not a matter of some corporate discretion, to have a proper maternity leave for people who are choosing to start a family, that it's the law. Respect and embrace people regardless of their nationality, their skin color, their race, their sexual orientation, and feel that's part of the business. And so far, you know what? It's working. And it is something where we have not achieved perfection, but people are watching around the world this great experiment that I think is something that is worthy of watching, and we're having to work on it every day. There are many challenges and many stresses and many strains, but we're committed to that because we believe in the end that is what the city of the future is going to be about, as much as all the important things that are the building blocks that create the right kind of place for people. That we believe it's about ultimately the people and how they live together. So I thank you for giving me this time today. I hope it had some remote relevance to what you're talking about in the context of the rest of the agenda, because it was a little bit different. But we're here to sell ourselves unabashedly as a place we want people to come We want them to come and live, we want them to come and work, we want them to come and succeed, we want them to come and show the world there is a way to do this that is a bit different, but that I think is entirely consistent with what's going on in the 21st